Hi there, folks. My name is Annie Fonte. I am an author and an entrepreneur. And today I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you to talk with you about a book called The Creator Mindset. It's written by Nir Bashan. Nir's a friend of mine, and I had the opportunity to have him on my Badass Soul Seeking Warrior podcast several weeks ago, where we had the opportunity to talk about the creator mindset and what inspired him to write it in the first place. Now, what I will say that as an author, I can appreciate the time and energy and effort and research that goes into getting a book written and published. And during our conversation, Nir shared with me that it took him 7 years to write and publish his book. And so right out of the gate, that tells you a lot about this person's willingness to do whatever it takes to complete a task or a project that makes a contribution to others in the world. During our conversation, I asked Nir, what inspired you to write the book? And he was really honest. He said, I was really intrigued and wanted to understand what the people I admired most in life possess that made them successful in life. And he said I would ask people and they were hesitant to share what that was. And then he started to do some of his own research about creativity, and he found that there's a lot of books out there on why it's important to be creative, but there's very few, especially very few good ones, about how to do it. So he generously spent the time and has included in the Creator Mindset 92 tips on how one becomes more creative. But it really starts out in the book talking about how we're all born with a really creative mind, and over time we become analytical thinkers versus creative thinkers. And analytical thinkers, or an analytical mind, really looks at the world and says, what's wrong with this? What's impossible about this? Why can't this be done? And a creative mindset, or a person who has a creative mind, looks at things and goes, wow, here's what's possible. Here's how that can happen. Here's how we're going to make it happen. And in his research, he found that up to 90% of leadership and people who own companies or start companies use their analytical mind, and very few bring the creativity into it. And he speaks about the importance of that balance, a 50-50 balance of having that analytical mind, because it is important, but also bringing in that creativity part that really brings an opportunity for a company to thrive and managers to lead from a place of thriving versus what's not possible. And I asked Nir in our conversation as well, I said, what is your favorite chapter in the book? And he said, it's called Little Victories. I've read the book, and the part about little victories, he speaks about why it's so important to celebrate those little successes we have along the way to achieving our ultimate goal, whatever that might be. Oftentimes, we are in such a hurry to get to that final goal that we don't stop along the way and appreciate the smallest of things that happen to help us get to that end point. It might be something as small as a return phone call, or an inspiring text or email you get during the process, or a team member that has a light bulb moment as you're working with them to achieve this final opportunity. So I have to agree that that was one of my favorite things as well. But another thing that I really appreciated that Nir shared in the book is this idea about the possibility and the importance of reinvention. And what he means by that is we have a choice in our life to reimagine our future. What do we want our future to look like and feel like and be like? And to declare that and to get really clear about how that looks and feels to us. However, the important thing, in order for that to be a successful endeavor, we have to be willing to let go of people, places, and things and thoughts and beliefs that are keeping us stuck, that no longer work for us, and that are not allowing us to step into that reinvention, to step into that reimagined future for ourselves. This is not only important for us as human beings, but it's especially important for corporations out there or companies out there who know that in order to stay relevant, they're going to have to constantly reimagine what their future looks like. And the ones who don't likely won't be around for very long. So I don't know where you are or what position you might hold in a company. You might be an entrepreneur. You might sit in the corporate offices of a large corporation. You may be wanting to start a company, or you may be the CEO of your family. Whatever position you hold of importance in the world, this book is for you. Pick it up, give it a read. It's easy to go through. It's basically a handbook, a workbook for how to become more creative and reawaken that creative part of us, so that we can move forward as human beings and as corporate leaders or entrepreneurs, and really allow that creativity to help us succeed and thrive, not only in our own lives, but in our businesses as well. So pick it up. I know you can get it on Amazon. I know you can go to Barnes & Noble and get it. You can go to Nir's website, nirbashan.com, as well as thecreatormindset.com. The book does have its own website. So do yourself a favor, go get this book now. You'll enjoy it. You'll learn a lot about yourself. And the great news is you will become more creative as a result. Take good care.